So guys, this is the week one summary class. And as a part of this particular batch, I will be going through, this particular week, I will be going through, some of the topics that I have already covered in the video. All right, so let me actually open up my presentation. Okay, so here at the initial stage, we have certain stuff that are self-explanatory. I'll not really talk about them. Let me talk about something from Java, and then we will go over it. Just hang on for 1 second. Just 1 minute. Actually, one of my students is trying to reach out to me. Just a minute. Sorry about that. This lady is trying to join the class, but I don't know why she don't have the joining link. Okay. All right. So, hi Kumuda, can you? Hi Kumuda, can you hear me out? Hello Kumuda. Can you hear me out? Hi Kumuda, can you hear me out? Hi Kumuda, can you hear me out?
Yes, Avish, I can hear you.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So I just started the class. We are talking about Java. What is Java as a programming language? We'll go over that and then we will start from there. Okay. So Java is basically a object-oriented programming language. And when I say it is a object-oriented programming language, it means that it is basically supporting object-oriented programming principles. There are multiple different type of principles like inheritance, encapsulation, extraction, polymorphism, runtime polymorphism, and Java basically supports these different programming principles. We will be learning more about it when we are going deeper into the training. But at this stage, we're just trying to understand that what exactly Java is built of, what are the components of Java. So the first thing that we have in Java is Java Virtual Machine, Java Runtime Environment, and Java Development Kit. Java Virtual Machine is basically a layer sitting on top of your operating system. It can be any operating system, Unix, Mac, Windows. Java Virtual Machine just sits on top of it so that it can help you execute a Java program. That's all. Okay, the inner workings of Java Virtual Machine, you don't have to bother about it. It is already built. It has been used for years and years. How exactly Java Virtual Machine works at the core level, we are not concerned. All we need to understand that what it does. What it does is very simple. You write a source file. A source file is basically a file which is having a simple extension, and that extension is a .java file. You have a .java file, which is your source file. This Java file that you have written, it is in English language. This language you and I can understand, but machine will never understand what is exactly that I'm trying to interpret in the form of a program. So that's where we have one more component. The component is called as compiler. The compiler will simply convert this .java file to a byte code. Ideally, it creates another file which is coming up with .class extension. Once you get that class extension file, so there are two files ideally. One is the Java file that you create, and the compiler creates .class file. This .class file is basically the machine interpreted version of your program, something that can be executed into with the help of Java virtual machine. That's all is happening. That is what you need to understand. Okay, if somebody tells you that what exactly Java virtual machine does, it executes .class file. But how you get .class file? You get .class file because you compile a .java file to a .class file. Who does the compilation? You do the compilation. All right? You do the compilation with the help of a tool which is called as Java C. With this tool, you do the compilation. All right? Let's go next. Is this clear to everyone, whatever I just said? Is this clear to everyone? Just give me a thumbs up or yes in the chat. It should be fine. Is this clear to everyone, guys? Okay. All right. Kumuda, Avinash, Antariksh, is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Sovic.
All right. What is a JRE? JRE is Java Runtime Environment. It is an environment in which a Java program can be executed. So you can see JRE is the mother of JVM, or JRE is a container in which you have JVM and some libraries that are coming along with. Just a minute. One more guy joining the class. Hi Sri, can you hear me? Okay, hi Sri. You joined 10 minutes late. Sri, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you joined 10 minutes late. So from next week, try to join at 10 o'clock, please. All right. So we are discussing about Java components. What is a Java? What is Java program? How exactly it runs? Those kind of stuff. So JRE is a runtime environment that has Java virtual machine and certain libraries that will help you execute a Java program. What are these libraries? We will show you in a while. Okay. This is Java runtime environment. And then we have JDK, Java Development Kit. So we will be implementing a Java program, and then we are going to execute it. right? So JDK basically the whole package for a Java developer who can who wish to create a Java program at the same time who wants to execute a Java program. So basically what is happening? Basically what is happening is this. Your JDK consists of JRE and DevTools. DevTools means Java C. Java C is the Java compiler that will let you compile a .java file to a .class file. Okay? And JRE is the environment which will help you execute your program. Okay? This whole component is called as JDK. Let me give you a practical understanding of it, that how exactly it works. And then you tell me whether you're understanding this or not, all right? I will be creating, just a minute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a simple Java file. Okay, I'm going to create a simple Java file with the help of normal text notepad. All right, so what I'll do is I'll go to my one of the folder. In this folder, let me remove some of the existing ones which are not needed. All right, let me remove these guys also. Okay, I'm going to create a simple Java file. So new text, say whatever the file name I want to give, the class name of that particular program should be same. So if I give the file name as my first program, see, this is a normal text file, all right? My first program, I will keep the class name as the same. So that's my text file. I'll go inside this and I will write some syntax. The syntax you are learning for the first time, okay? So public class, the file name is my first program. I'll give the class name as exactly the same. Sorry, class my first program. All right, and this is the scope in which I want to keep my program. Okay, so I want to add a simple method here which I want to execute. So it will be public static void main, and you say string array. Don't worry if you don't understand, we will go over it multiple times. Just look at the syntax and just see what exactly I'm trying to show you. So basically, I'm trying to write a program where I want to print out a very simple statement. System dot out dot print ln. Here I say welcome to August 2021 batch. That's all. And I want to finish up this line with a semicolon. That's the simple program. This program is doing nothing but simply printing out this statement in the console. Whatever I have written so far, it is all in plain and simple English, which you and me can understand. However, the system will not understand. Okay, if it wants to execute this file, it has to be executed in a particular format which is understandable by the system. Okay, Komal just joined. Uh, she's having some problem with her internet, I know that. Hi Komal, can you hear me?
Sorry. Hi, Sovic. I can hear you now.
Okay, you can see the screen as well, right?
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. I know you have some problem with your internet. I hope it'll be fixed by this week.
Yeah.
So that you can, okay, cool, thank you.
Thank
So
you.
what I'm trying to do here is create a simple text file in which I have written some syntax, nothing more than that, to print out this statement. At this stage, this file is having the extension. The extension is right now txt. Okay, I want to convert this to .java. How do I do that? Very simple. Just save it with .java extension. Nothing fancy here. Meaning, go to your file, say save as, okay, and in the same location, just say all files, give the name as same name as the class name, and say Java. That's all you did to convert that .text file to a Java file. Save. Okay. Now, if you go back to the same folder, you see, I have one text document. I have one Java file. Both of them are having same name. Is this understandable? Ronan, Abhinash, Antariksh, is this understandable? Whatever I'm doing right now, is it making sense?
Yes.
Okay, all right, okay, perfect. So once I am done with that Java file, I want to execute it. All right, let's try to execute it. I will go inside the command prompt for this particular location, cmd command prompt. I will go inside that folder. So cd this folder, good. Inside this folder, I want to execute the program, right? So if I want to execute the program, say Java my first program, it says could not find or load the main class of my first program. Class not found exception. Why is that? I'm getting this error. Why is that? You saw me creating a class, but still I'm getting this exception. Class not found exception. Why? Because right now this file is in .java format. .java format. It has to be converted to a .class format. Who will do that for me? I will do that. How do I do that? I will use a program called Java C. How do I have Java C? I have Java C because in my system, I have installed JDK, you, me, everybody. If you remember last week, I helped you to install JDK, Java Development Kit. Java Development Kit is the guy which has JRE, okay? And the JRE consists of Java Virtual Machine, right? It has JRE, plus it has Java DevTools. In Java DevTools, what do I say? What do I have? In Java DevTools, one of the component that I have is Java C, and there are many more stuff as well. So because I have Java C as a part of JDK, all I want to do is I want to directly run a command with Java C or Java compiler. Java C is Java compiler to convert .java file to .class file. Simple, very, very simple. Nothing, rocket science happening here, okay? I just say here Java C, and then I say what? My first program.java, right? Enter. It compiled it. How do I know that? Let's look into the folder, dir. And if you look at it, you see the text file, the .java file, and the .class file. I have everything here. This class file is basically got converted, or it is basically now interpreted. Okay, cool. Let's rejoining. Okay. So you just saw me creating a .class file. How does a .class file looks like from inside? Let's see. Let's open up the .class file. See, gibberish. We don't understand this, but machine does. And machine will execute this first, right? How do I execute this? Well, simple again. Go back to the same folder. Now you use the command Java, and then just say my first program. My first program. Don't have to say .class. Just say my first program and enter. And you see, it executed because you see this value coming up in the console. Whatever I just showed you, is it making sense? Okay. Now, the point is that this particular class file, .class file, okay, is the file which is getting executed. Meaning, if I am a Java developer, and I am creating .java file, and then converting a .java file to a .class file, like I did, and package this file, okay? When I say package this file, I will be packaging this file as a jar file, JAR. What is JAR? JAR means Java archive. Okay, I package this file as a Java archive, and then I send this to my client. Here's my client. My client is not even bothered about implementing any program. He or she just wants to execute the program. That's all. So if he or she wants to just execute the program, then what he or she can do is just simply start the program by accessing the jar file. And he or she will never need JDK to be installed. So Java developer obviously needs a JDK, but the client will never need a JDK because all he or she wants to do is just execute it. So a runtime environment is good enough. I have given this package, a jar package, to my client, and my client just simply executes this with a command that is Java space minus jar space minus jar, and whatever the jar package name is. If you give the jar package name as my first program, then that's what he will be able to execute. Is this flow looking okay for you to understand? Antariksh Avinash, Ronan, Komal, Kumuda, Sri.
Yes, sir.
All good? Okay. Is it simple to understand, or are you thinking it is, or do you feel it is complex? Is it simple to understand, or is it complex?
Like example, the execute particular that what Java file. So
Yeah.
we go for that path only. We have to customize like a given the we are setting into the system path itself for Java while installing.
Okay, so you were not there in the last week. I helped everyone to set up your Java location. First, you install Java. So for example, I've installed my Java in this location. So C drive, say C drive, and then program files. And then you can see I have my Java here. So I have Java JDK 11 installed in my system. And this path, you have to set it up in your environment variable. So you have to go down and say environment variables. And then in this location, you go and say environment variable, and then you have to add the environment variable. So for example, I added a variable called Java_home, and then this is the path where my Java is residing. And then I also set the same information in the path variable. This is the path variable. So the path variable, you can see I have added this guy here, percentile Java_home %/bin. So if you watch the last week's video, which I have already published, you can know how to set it up. I have done it for one of the systems, and you can easily follow that. Okay. Once you do that, you will be able to execute Java program from your entire system. Make
Sure,
sense? Okay, good. All right. Yeah, Komal, are you able to hear me now? I see you have problem, but you're able to hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So,
Okay, good, good. Okay. All right. So this is the first part that I wanted to make clear to everyone about compilation and execution of a simple Java program. Okay. Once we have this in place, let's close this out. Let's go to the next part. All right. I just told you how a developer can send the file. You understand that a JDK or a Java developer is creating a project in Windows operating system. All he or she will do is will just create a jar out of it. We'll create a jar out of it. This is a jar. I'll show you how to create a jar in a minute. Jar out of it. And this jar will be sent to the client. The client is not in Windows. Okay, the client is having Mac or Linux. It doesn't matter. Even then, when you send the jar to the client will be able to still execute the program, because Java is platform independent. It doesn't matter in which platform it was implemented or in which platform it was executed, because different people will have different operating system, and according to their operating system, they will install the JDK differently. Like if you have Mac, you will install JDK or GRE for Mac, or if you have Windows, you will do it for Windows. Simple to understand. So now let's move on to the next part. Let's see the above in action. I showed you how to do that already. Java installation and configuration, we did that yesterday. I mean, in the last week class. Installing Eclipse IDE, this was also done last week. Eclipse is basically the integrated development environment which you will be installing. Some people is having IntelliJ. It's quite same. In Eclipse, you can, in the one window, you can have multiple different projects together, and that is what we are trying to do here as well. So now what I will do is I will open up my Eclipse and just go through it once. All right. How do I do it? It's very simple. I will open up my Eclipse just from here. Okay. So when you open this page, it's telling you that please create a workspace. So I'm going to give a workspace name. So for this batch, I create a workspace called August 2021 and say Wisdom QA. Wisdom QA August 2021 launch. This is my workspace in which I can keep multiple projects in the same workspace. Workspace is nothing but a folder or a directory in which you can keep multiple projects. This is my home page or welcome screen. I remove this. When I remove this, you can see that there are multiple different panels in this whole screen. We are not bothered about all of them. All right. We will be simply taking out which is not needed. And that's all I have, minimal panel list. In the extreme left, I have Package Explorer or Project Explorer, where you can list down all the projects. I mean, the right-hand side, the blank screen, that is where you will be writing your code. Okay. Then you have some sections which are basically, this is your toolbar. This is your menu bar. Okay. And we will go through that more in details later on. So let's try to create a first project in this section or in this particular ID. Let's try to create a project. You can create a project just from here, File, New Java Project. All right. And project name.
Screen is not properly visible. It's scrolling like that. I don't know.
Sri, I think it's a problem with you. Is it a problem with everybody? Are you able to see my screen? Everyone else?
I can see your screen.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, Sri, I think it's a problem with your side. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
are you not able to see my screen at all, or how is it? Or is it
Also
slow?
not as rotation wise. That's the issue. Yeah. Now it's good. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm creating a project. I can give any project name. So I'm just giving a project saying Java class 1. We are in the class 1, summary class 1. So Java class 1. That's cool. And just 1 minute before I do that. Sorry, let me delete this. I want to show you something. Okay, let me create new Java project, Java class 1. And as a part of this, you can see that this is a wizard, right? There's a simple form that is letting you know that this Java project is created with JDK 11, which means it supports JDK 11. When I say it supports JDK 11, obviously it will also support anything that you have written before JDK 11. I mean, it will support previous versions, but not the new version. What I mean to say here is that in your Java program, if you have used a particular component that was created by Java 1.8 or Java 8, Java 9, Java 10, they will all be supported in this project. But if you are creating a component with JDK 12 or 14 or 15, probably it will not be supported. Okay. So I'm saying here you can choose that what will be your project version. What will be your project bare minimum version? So you're saying that if my client is using Java 11 in their system, they can execute my program. But if the client is using Java 9 or Java 10 in their system, then all the components of this project will not be accessible to them. So you're trying to set up that configuration here. Then what will be the bare minimum requirement to execute your Java program? All right. So I just say finish, and you say this window. You see this particular window. In this part, I'm saying that I need to, okay, for module info, I don't need to create anything. So just say don't create. This is a simple project here. All right. In this project, I'm going to create my programs. Okay. So let me create a program. New package. Let's say test Java. And I'm going to create a new class. Say first program. Okay, first program with a main method. You see, I have a checkbox here with a main method. You click on this, you finish it off, you get a simple class created. Let me increase the font of this. You can increase the font of this particular section by going to Window, Preferences. Inside this, look for font, font, colors and font. Under Basic, you can look for text font and say Edit and say 14. Okay, apply and close. That will increase your font. All right. Now here I'm just saying again one more time, sysout. Welcome to Wisdom QA. All right, welcome to Wisdom QA. Now what do? Now I am trying to execute this program, right? I say right click on this, run as Java application. I ran it. I got this printout. Very simple to understand. But the question is, you must be asking yourself, where did I do Java compilation? I told you that a program can be only executed if it is compiled by the compiler into machine language so that it can be executed. So you saw me executing the program, but I never compiled. How exactly it is happening? You have to understand that. So if I take you inside the project of Eclipse, properties, Java build path, not Java build path, sorry. Let me go to show in System Explorer. If I go inside this location, you will see that there is a project called Java class 1. If I open this project, you will see that there is 2 folders. There are multiple different folders, settings folder, class path, project. These 2 guys, or the settings and these 2 guys, are maintained by Eclipse itself, nothing to do with us. Okay, but we are concerned about this src folder. You can see this src folder visible over here. You can see that very well, right? So if I open that src folder, you can see there is a folder again called test Java. And if you look into the screen, there is a package called test Java. If you open that folder, there is a program called as first program, which is a Java file. Okay, no problem at all. If you go back to the project, you have bin folder as well. If you open the bin folder, you can see the exact mirror image of your SRC folder. There is also a test Java. If you open this up, here you see there is a class file. So the question is, who compiled the project? Who compiled your class files? I mean, your Java files to class file. So in this case, Eclipse is firing the compiler. It is taking the responsibility, which means as soon as you save it, for example, I'm saving this file right now, or I'm renaming this file right now. How do you rename the file in the project? Using refactoring. Refactor, rename. Okay. When you refactor, rename, for example, I misspelled it. It is first program and say finish. So you can see that it has got recompiled or I renamed it. And when I save this, as soon as I'm saving this, right, automatically Eclipse is going to compile your entire project. If you go back to the bin folder again, you can see it is changed to first program now. Under bin test Java, it is changed to first program now. If you open this up, it is gibberish again. So I'm just showing you when you are working with an IDE, IDE will take care of compilation. But if you're not working with IDE, it will be your responsibility to take care of the compilation. Avinash, I think I have not covered all these stuff in details in the last week, right?
I think you did. Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine.
No, I'm saying not in the video recordings. I mean in the live class. Did I cover all of these?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's fine. Shall we carry on? Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, you are a client and you have hired a developer. The developer is creating a project for you, and he or she wants to give the project to you so that you can execute. I told you some time back that you can easily do that with the help of this diagram. I told you that there will be a packaging involved called as jar package, right? And you want to execute that. You want to give this package to your client. So let's just see how exactly it is done. If you are a developer, what you will do is you will simply right click on the project that you have created, go to export. All right. Go to Java and you see jar file. You click on this, say next. Here you're saying that what all you want to or want this to be exported. So I'm saying export generated class files and resources. All right. Let's give a name to this particular file. I'm saying test project. All right, test project. And I want to put this file inside my directory. Say desktop, say Wisdom QA. And here I name the file as, or maybe just save it here. Test project. All right, test project. Save. All right, that's what I want to save. Test project.jar. So finish. I did that. I created a jar file. All right. Now there are two ways to execute a jar file. For example, you are a client, you want to just execute your jar file, right? You will not be able to execute a jar file just like that until and unless it is a runnable jar. Right now, I created a normal jar file. And let me just show you. So if you just see here, you see, I created this my project, test project, sorry. Yeah, you see, I created this jar file, test project right now, and I want to execute this jar file. Okay, the command for doing this is java minus jar. Okay, java minus jar. Okay, and test project dot jar, enter. It says no main manifest or attribute in the test project.jar. Why it is saying this? Because this jar file is not a runnable jar file. Let me create a runnable jar file. All right. So export. You see, you have a normal jar file, you have a runnable jar file. I create the runnable jar file now, and I give the name as.
What is different runnable and these jar files?
I'm explaining. Just hold on. Test project 2.jar. Okay, save. Launch configuration. I'm just saying which is my main program. So this is the main program here. I want to launch. I say finish. Okay. So now I have two jars. One is a runnable jar and one is a simple jar. Okay. If it's a runnable jar, I have test project jar. I have test project 2.jar. Okay. This guy over here is a runnable jar, and this is not a runnable jar. It's a simple jar. Okay. If I want to execute this jar on its own, I can easily do that by java space jar test project 2.jar and enter. And you see, I was able to execute the program and I got this value here. I was able to trigger the program within the jar file on its own just by running the simple command. All right. And I showed you that I cannot execute a normal jar. I'm getting the error message, no main manifest attribute in this particular jar file. All right. So what do I do with this jar file then, which is not the runnable jar? So you can be a developer who is just creating a project and you want to give this project to someone else who wants to then use your project. Let's try to understand this. This is my Java class 1 project, and I created a jar file out of it. My client is also a developer, and he wants to use the project that I have created. Meaning, he can create his own Java project, let's say client project, all right, and finish, don't create. So I got my jar file from class 1, Java class 1. My client project, my client wants to execute my project or wants to execute whatever I have implemented in Java class 1. How will he or she will do that. What he can do here is, if you open this project here, you see all the Java project is having something called as a library. Okay, when you create a Java project, it comes with some library section by default. It comes up with some library section by default. Correct? Now, you can add more libraries to it. How? You can simply right click on the project and go to Java build path, click on build path. Sorry, go to properties, go to Java build path. In this section, go to libraries, click on class path, click on add external jars. So what did I do? As a developer, I created my program. I packaged it as a jar file, and I'm giving that jar file to my client so that my client can use my program. Add external jar. My external jar is located in my folder desktop. Okay, here only, right? This one. Open. Okay. Apply and close. You can see a new section came up here called reference libraries. Open this up. You can see test project.jar is there. If you open the jar file, let's see the difference, or let's see what exactly I have inside the jar file. If I open this project, you can see there is a package. The package is test Java. If you open my project that I created earlier, it is also having the package called test Java. So it is basically the same. If you open the test Java over here again, you see first program.class. And here it is first program.java. So basically, whatever I said a minute back or a few minutes back, I proved it by showing you that when I'm packaging this whole project into a jar file, what exactly it is happening? It is basically picking up all the class files in the project and creating a jar file out of it. The jar file is nothing but a Java archive which contains multiple .class files. Right? How many ever class files you have in your project, they are all packaged inside one entity named as Java archive. And then this Java archive, I can easily reference in another project over here. I reference it. When I referenced it, now you see, I will be able to use it. How? Look at this. So I reference this particular project, totally good. My client wants to use my program. Fair enough. So my client will create a simple package saying test new Java, something like that. Inside this test new Java, a class file will be created. Come on. So the class file is testing imported jar. With the main method. Finish. Okay. In this program, in this main program, I am not writing anything, any printout statement. I'm not going to write it. All I will do here is I will try to call this particular class file. So if you see this class file, this first program class is having a main method. Okay, so I will try to call this main method. That's it. How? Very simple. I can say first program is the name of the class. First program dot main. Main is the method. Main is the method which is residing inside the first program class. All right. And I want to call this. I want to run this. So let's run this now. Run as Java application. Welcome to Wisdom QA came up. In this particular file, there is no printout statement, but still I was able to print this out. How? Because I referenced a library. You see, if I don't reference the library, I can remove it, right? I can go back to the properties. I can go back to the class path and say remove and apply and close. And if I do that, it is immediately throwing me an error in my program saying first program cannot be resolved, meaning it is not able to find out this class file anymore because you have taken out the reference to libraries. Is this clear to everyone? Avinash, what do you think?
No, I'll have to go through the video again. I'm struggling to find the option to create jar on IntelliJ, so I'm stuck there.
Okay, can you show me a screen?
Let me do that. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask the control. Okay. Libraries. Language path dependencies. Platform is. It should be somewhere here. File. Export here. Export to zip file files or selection to HTML. Let's see. Output directory, no. Options. There has to be something. Export project to Eclipse into zip file. Let's see. It's a zip. 1 minute. Let us try to do that. I have not done this in here actually. So say export jar from IntelliJ. File project structure artifact. Let's see. File project structure.
It's,
Yeah. Structure artifacts. Okay. Plus jar.
Right.
And runtime image. Let's see, jar from modules with dependencies. Yeah, let's try this.
Okay.
And this is my test Java. That's good. So extract to jar. Is it going to? One minute. In this folder, you have testing 01. Okay, so basically you have to say what is the main class you want to execute. So I think this is creating a runnable jar. Let me just try that. So I'll say test class. Is it having any main method here?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay, good. So okay, done. Extract target jar, copy. No, this is not fine. Okay, and this will be output directory. Let's give it inside. Let's give this inside C drive, program files, user. Desktop documents. Okay, let me skip it here for now. All right. And say apply. Okay. All right. So if you created that, let's go to the command prompt. Let's go to cd documents. Sorry, dir cd documents. Right. Dir. Do I have? No.
Or you put in the downloads.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yeah, downloads, correct. Sorry.
cd. Okay. Name of that is test Java.
Test. Yeah.
So Java space jar test Java. No, I don't think it is here. Okay, let me just see dir start dot jar. No, there is nothing here. Let me try to do again. File, project structure, test Java, test Java.jar, test Java jar, output directory, downloads, test Java, JER, right? Include in project build, not required. Test Java.jar, okay. Line. Is it exporting? That's my question. Is it exporting? Downloads. No, it's not exporting. Somehow it's not exporting.
Oh, Souvik, I'll sort it out later. Otherwise, I'll do some research and come back to you next week, perhaps.
Yeah. No, I will also take a look into it because
Okay.
in IntelliJ I haven't done this.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think it should be simple. But other than this, I mean, whatever I showed you in the, I mean, the concept that I showed you, meaning,
Yes.
meaning how exactly I am moving from moving the code from a normal project to a secondary project. You see, the the program I created in Java class 1, I'm trying to access that program in a different project. So did you got that, right?
Yes, that's clear. Yes.
That is clear, right?
Yeah, I was just only not able to mimic what you're doing, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is clear.
Yeah, okay. If possible, I think if you can download Eclipse, it will also make your life easy because you
Yeah.
will be then able to follow me in the class,
True.
and then you can find out a way to get it done in the IntelliJ. For example, to add a library, you go to properties and you go to Java build path, and then under class path, you say add external jars, and then you add the jar file, right? Now, this exact steps will not be there in IntelliJ, but something similar is there, obviously, okay, to add a library. So I believe that if you follow me in the Eclipse level, because I'm trying to keep it common for everyone, you will be able to follow me in the class and then try to figure out a similar version in IntelliJ. Is that okay?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So that's that. Okay. So we just covered to figure. Okay. So now Sri, did you get the difference between .jar file and runnable jar file and normal jar file?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let's move on to the next part. Okay. In class 2, we are talking about Eclipse layout is fine. It's very simple to understand. Okay. Let's try to understand what is a main method. We have so far used the main method. What is a main method? Main method is a starting point for a Java program. So basically, JVM, the Java virtual machine, JVM is looking for the main method. Main method, and just not any main method, a main method with exactly same format, meaning public static void main, exactly this format. How do I prove that? How do I prove that? It's very simple to prove it. You go to this page, Java class 1, for example. All right. There is a main method here. There's a main method here, okay? I can create another main method, but with a different format. So public static void main, and just this, okay? Let's give the name to it as secondary main. Welcome to main 2. Main 2, right? I said JVM is looking for main methods. If I run this program, only this is getting printed. This will never be accessed. Why? Because this main method is not something that JVM is looking for. JVM is looking for only this format of the main method. It knows this is the location from where it has to start the execution, period. All right. So that's my main method. Good stuff. The main method accepts an array of strings. So each and every section of this main method is having its own significance. Public, static, void, and then string of arguments. Okay, string of array, not argument, string of array. What is this? Public is an access specifier. You will not know it right now, so park it. Static is a keyword. You will not know now, so park it. Void is a return type. You will not know, so let's park it by just giving a very simple understanding that void means that this method main is not returning back any value. It is just being executed, but it is not really sending back any information to the caller. Who is calling this main method? JVM is calling this main method. And JVM is not getting any response back from the main method. Why? Because main method is having the return type as void. Okay. Argument is basically a parameter of multiple strings. This part, I can prove it to you. I'm saying main method is designed in a way to accept multiple strings. I will do a quick change in my program and I'll show you how it works. All right. Let me go back to the project, meaning this location where I created my program, right? This Java file, right? This Java file I have, my motive is that whatever I send, how many ever string I send, so probably I want to send multiple students' name here, right? Probably I want to send multiple students' name here. Say I want to say Ronan, I'll say Avinash, I'll say Kumuda, right? I'll say Komal, right? I want everybody's name printed in this statement. That's my motive. How can I do it? So you can see if I want to print out all these names, I must be, so these names that I'm showing you here will be actually sent as a parameter to this argument. Okay. And then I have a plan to use a loop and basically keep on printing all the names that I'm supposed to send here. Okay. That's my motive. So let's try to do it. Very, very simple task. Some of the syntax you will not understand, but just follow my lead. What I'll do is I'll say I'm writing a for loop, special kind of a loop. It's called for each loop. So for, you will not understand this because I've not spoken about loop yet, but let's see. Name colon args. And let me close the loop. Let me copy this whole section, put it here inside the loop, and then simply add student's name here, plus name. Idea is that this loop will keep on rotating depending on how many ever names I'm sending to it, and it will just keep on printing one name at a time. That's all, right? So let me save this file first. Obviously, I have to do the recompilation, otherwise it will not work. So I'll just save this file, close this. Let's go back to the same location. All right. And here I say Java compile. The name of this is my first program. So Java C, my first program .java. It is compiled. Once it's compiled, I can run it now. How do I run it? Again, same command, Java Java, my first program. Don't need to write dot class. My motive is to send multiple values to it. Let's say Ronan. Let's say Sri. Let's say Avinash. Enter. Do you see that? One at a time, every argument was picked and it just printed all the values. So basically there is a significance why the main method is accepting an array of strings. By the way, to understand array, you have to wait for a while so that I can make you understand what is an array. Array is basically a variable that can store multiple values under one variable. Okay, I'll talk about that in some time. But whatever I just showed, is it making sense to everyone? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Okay. Avinash, can you mimic this, whatever I just did?
I'm trying to. So yeah.
Kumuda, Ronan, Sri, okay. All right, okay. So that is that. Now let's quickly move on. Also make sure that you understand something called as scope. Scope in a program is very, very important. This is the scope. Whatever is between the flower brace is the scope for a particular class or particular method. You can understand that this is my scope for the class. Sorry, not this. This is my scope for the class, right? This is the scope for first main method. This is the scope for second main method. You can say it's a boundary in which you're keeping the content or keeping the program. Okay, that's the scope. Anyway, let's move on. Java package and sub package. Let's try to understand this. What is a package? So you see me creating some packages called test Java. Always remember that packages will be always, the naming convention of packages is always in lowercase. You see, I created a package called test Java, all in lowercase. If I want to create a sub package, a package within a package, packages are required for what? Just for organizing your code. Because at the end of the day, package is nothing but directories, folders. Why do I have folders? I have folders because I can organize my stuff, right? Exactly the same concept. So package is basically to organize your code. So test Java dot, say, Java 2, Java 2, right? This is a sub package. With the dot operator, you're creating a sub package. How can you do that? It's very simple. Click on src, new package, and say test Java is the name of the package. Say dot Java 2. Say finish. When you do that, you created a Java 2 package inside test Java. How do you prove that? Simple. Go inside the location. System Explorer. When you go inside the location, you can see that Java class 1, src, that is test Java. Inside test Java, you have Java 2 folder. And right now this folder is empty. So basically just with the dot operator, you can create a sub package. Okay. Let's move on. Variables and constants. What is a variable? Variable is basically nothing but a memory space assigned to store some data, a particular type of data. For example, here I'm showing int number equals 10. Int is a data type, so you have to specify what type of data you want to store. You have to specify under what name you want to store that information. So the name of the variable matters because that is the information which will create a memory block reserved for that value. Okay, so basically when you say int number 10, this is what is actually happening. You are creating a simple box. Okay, you are naming the box as the variable name. In this case, it's number. You're saying that the box contains integer type of data, int, and you're also saying the box is having the value 10, right? It is a variable, meaning you can wish to update the information. What if if you're not happy with the value 10, you can update this with 20. It's a variable, means it can update the information. On the other hand, you have constant. Constant is also the same as variable in terms of memory utilization. If you say, I want to create a constant. Okay, I'm trying to create a constant. The constant name is called pi. The constant name is called pi. And the constant is going to hold double type of information. Double means decimal. Decimal information, double. Double type of information. And the value of it is 3.14. Then no matter what, this guy cannot get updated. It's a constant. You can create a constant with the keyword called final. That's it. Variable can vary. Constant will never vary. It will be a constant. Simple as that. Okay. Let's move on. Guys, it is your responsibility to stop me when I'm running through the slide decks. If you're not stopping me, I will understand that you have understood it. You are spending time in this program. You're spending time and money in this program. It is your responsibility to stop me if you are not understanding anything. I'm happy to repeat 100 times, but please stop me if you feel uncomfortable any slide. All right, I will again make it understandable for you. All right, I'll again try to make it easier for you to understand. Okay.
Sathik, give me a 5 to 10 minutes break in the 1.5 hour. At least you go through it 1.5 hour. Give me 5 minutes break for the every 1 hour. At least 1.5 hour for that.
Yeah, sure. I was thinking that. I was thinking of giving a 5 minutes break. I generally do that. So this session runs for 3 hours. So in the 3 hours, I give a 5 minutes break. After 1.5 hour, I give a break. So I can take a break right now, and then we can just come back and start from the other slides. All right. So okay, let's take a 5 minutes break, guys. Let's regroup in another 5 minutes. All right. Thank you. Okay. Perfect. So guys, I just wanted to ask something, okay? Are you guys comfortable with this time at 10 o'clock Sunday morning? Or if you want, I can prepone it like for 1 hour, like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Is this going to be okay, or is it going to be too early for you guys for the class? Just 1 hour before, or 2 hours before. I don't mind even starting at 8 o'clock. What do you think?
My time zone is 2:30 is no issue from my side. Sunday.
Okay. What about others? Avinash, Antariksh?
I'm flexible, like for the postpone.
Not
Sorry,
postpone.
sorry, prepone. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Antariksh, sorry, Avinash, what do you think? Is it early for you, or it's going to be okay? I think he's not back yet. What about Ronan?
And yeah, no, this time suits me. I'm flexible either way.
Okay, okay. Kumuda? Kumuda, what do you think? Hi, Kumuda, are you there? I think they're not back yet. Avinash, are you back? Kumuda, are you back? Okay. Hi, Avinash, hi, Kumuda, are you back? I don't know. Okay, let's start the class. Anyways. So I just spoke about variables and constants. Let's talk about data types. Okay, let me actually go to the diagram over here. Data type tree structure. We have two different type of data types. One is primitive and non-primitive in terms of Java. When I say primitive is basically the set of data with types which were created at the very early stage when Java programming language started coming into the market. I mean, this was the first data types that was created by the engineers of Java programming language. If you go to any programming language, everywhere you find variables or you find data types, right? But it is not so much classified in other programming language. but here it is. There are multiple different classes. But data types are basically required so that you can store different type of data in your for your requirement, for different kind of requirements. So what I'm trying to say here is that 1 minute. 3, you're joining twice. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that integer, boolean, character, byte, short, int, long, float, double, these are all coming under primitive data type space. When the Java language was first created, it came along with all these data types to allow the users of Java to store multiple different types of information. Okay, and then there is a non-primitive data type. So anything can be non-primitive, meaning, for example, I'm creating a data type like car. A car is basically a class in Java. It's a Java class. But I can say that this car class is a customized data type which holds car information. You can say that. String is also a class in Java which can hold string information. What is a string? String is a data type. String is a data type that binds multiple someone left, is it? Okay, no. That binds multiple characters together. Okay, string is a data type that binds multiple characters together. Okay, if you are dealing with char, which is a primitive data type, so char c equals just one character you can hold, right? Maybe a or a, right? But string is built in such a way that it can hold multiple characters together equals name. You can see I can add multiple characters together. So basically string is a class, and the class is having the implementation to hold multiple characters together. That's how it became a data type that can hold multiple characters together in form of a string. Is this understandable? The non-primitive one? Because people get confused with non-primitive section. What is non-primitive? How it is coming? So at the initial days, when Java came in the market, it came with primitive data types, where you see all these information like Boolean, character, byte, short, int, float, double, all of them. Okay. And then some customized data type came in place, or non-primitive ones, like string, like array, and etc. I can give you a quick understanding. For example, just see the difference. Avinash, are you back or you're in still break?
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Kumuda, are you back? Kumuda, are you there? Not sure. All right, so if I just go back to the program, Let's create a simple data type. Int number equals 25. Int is a primitive data type that is letting you store the value 25. Totally fine. No complication there. At the same time, I can have integer. Integer number 2 equals 50. You see? You see that number int is a data type, which is a primitive data type. Primitive. And at the same time, you have non-primitive. Please clear this understanding because it is very important. Non-primitive, or I'll say custom data type. Custom data type. Question is, why do I care? Why do I need custom data type? You see, this primitive guy is just a holder to hold a value 25. No problem at all. Integer, which is a customized data type, it can definitely hold the value 50, but at the same time, it can do something more as well. Like what? Like if I say sysout, if I say number, I can say plus number, which is printing or primitive number, primitive number. And I print this out, no problem. But I can also do something like this. I can say sysout number two dot. I can do something here now. With the number 2, I'm getting multiple options. I'm saying I can convert this number 2 into a string. Let's see what happens. Run as first program. Primitive got me value 25. Okay. If I say number dot, there is nothing. The value number is there, but it cannot let me, it is not letting me do anything with that on its own. You see, when I say dot, it is not giving me any options because it is a primitive data type. The only job is to hold a single number, and you can then process it, you can print it, you can do anything with that, but that's all it does. But integer, the integer primitive number or integer non-primitive data type is holding the number, but along with that, it can do multiple stuff. For example, when you hit dot, it is giving you a list saying it can be performing these options. For example, it can be converted to a float value. Can we print this out? You see, it's a float value. It added a decimal pointer. Those options of or features that got added. How it is happening? It's happening because, like you and me, the Java engineers, they have created a class, public class. Name this class as integer, right? And inside this, they have created the mechanism to perform different operations, like compare or convert to double. That's a mechanism that they have created, which is performing the operation when you say convert to double. Meaning you can create your own data type. Avinash can feel like creating his own data type that will be performing certain operation. It can hold some value. It can hold some value of, I don't know, maybe some custom value of your official information, maybe your name, your address, your telephone number, everything together in one bunch. It can store people's information. Okay, that is your custom data type. It can store your people's information, but at the same time, it can do multiple stuff. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Is that clear to everyone? The difference between primitive and non-primitive data type. Non-primitives are customized data type. Yeah, go on.
Already Java has inbuilt some variables that's called as a primitive, I think so.
That is correct.
So,
That is right. Yes.
So external what we had to try to our own. So that's a convert as a like a customize.
Yes, that is right. Java already has inbuilt data type, which is called primitive. Okay. Java also has some inbuilt non-primitive data types. This is a non-primitive data type, integer. It is not this class integer. You have not created them. It is already pre-built in Java. There is also a data type called string. String name equals Sovic, right? It is also a primitive, non-primitive data type, which is already pre-built in Java. You're not creating that. But if you wish, you can create more. Is this understandable? Antariksh, is it understandable?
Just for
Yes.
that number 2, if you put toString, would that output the word 50?
Yeah, it did actually.
Yeah.
Not word 50. It just printing it as if it is a string. So see.
Okay,
see.
yeah, okay.
toString.
Yeah.
toString. I'm saying toString, and then I'd say dot. Let me just see something. I want to show you something. Type.
So we call as a, what is a reserved keywords also.
What do you mean reserved keywords? Sorry.
Yeah.
What do you mean reserved keywords? Sorry.
Don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, reserved keywords. Okay, I got it. So keywords are nothing but these are the keywords, right? You see, like static is a keyword, like break is a keyword. You see, static is a keyword, but I will talk about that. You don't know what is static right now. I will talk about static later on.
Okay.
So let me show you something, Ronan. You asked me if I convert this number. Let me do one thing. I said get number dot to class. Okay, get number dot get class. All right. Number 2 dot get class. All right. Let's print this out. You see, clear this out. You see, class Java lang integer. So this number is of type integer. Is of type integer. This number integer is of type integer. How do I know that? Because this get class method is telling me that it is of type integer. But now, if I convert this to string and then say dot get class is of type string. Do you see that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense now.
Good.
Thanks. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Avinash, is it clear? Kumuda, is it clear? I don't know if Kumuda is there or not. Kumuda, are you there? Kumuda, are you there? Okay, very weird. Are you there, Kumada? I don't know if you're not able to hear me out. I see you there, but
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So with actually my system is a little, not little, lot slow actually.
okay. So you can join from your phone if your system is slow. At least to understand the lecture, and then you can watch it later on from your system.
Yeah, better go for the mobile and practice in laptop. Better.
Kumada, you want to do
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Souvik. Yes, Souvik, I'll do that. I'll do that maybe.
Okay, fine, cool. So Avinash, is that clear, right?
Yes, got it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So we have understood what is data type, what is different type of data types. Question is, why so many data types to store same type of data? You see, for integer, we have byte, short, character, int, and long, just for integer. Why is that? The question is simple. Why is it there? Why we have only for storing numbers? Why do I have so many data types? The reason for that is the range. The reason for that is the number of value or the total range of data it can store. Meaning you can see that byte is having the maximum range as 8 bits. What does that mean? It means that it can store beyond, it cannot store anything beyond 127. If you try to store anything beyond 127, it will throw you with the error. You can see there very well. Go there, create a byte variable. Create a byte variable. Byte nums equals 127. It's all good, right? But if you say 128, it throws you with the error. Okay, it throws you with the error. It cannot store beyond 128. So depending on your requirement, you will store the value. If you have the requirement to store the value beyond 128, then you will choose a different data type. If you want to store human age, I don't think any human has lived beyond 128 years. You can store a human age in a byte variable. So byte variable is having a limited space to store only 128 till 128 number. Depending on your requirement, you can choose what to store, what not to store. And I've given you a small table to follow. Okay. But I think int, if you store int, I think you are pretty much covered for most of your requirement. Okay. So you should be good. All right. Now we will talk about operators, arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, and those kind of things. But just give me one quick second. I want to check out something here. Week 1, operators, loops. Okay, good. So let's try to cover up the operators. There are multiple different types of operators that we will be dealing with. Arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical, pre and postfix operator, assignment operator, and ternary operator. Okay, we have to understand all of them because we will be using this over and over again. The first part is arithmetic operator. It is nothing really fancy here happening. It's very simple to understand. We're trying to perform arithmetical operations. That's all. Okay, you see, you have given, I will actually not write the program because I have done that in the video already. So I will quickly go through it. So you can see I have two numbers, int a and b, and I have a variable called result, which is set to 0. So I can say result equals to A minus B, and you get the value. Similarly, A multiplied by B, A divided by B, and A percentile B. What is percentile? Percentile is nothing but modulus operation. It is a modulus operation. So if you are doing a division between two numbers, you have 10 and you want to divide this with 3, right? What will you do? You will say 3 times 3 is 9, right? And you get the value as 1 as a reminder, right? That's 1. That 1 is basically the module, that 1 is basically the modulus operation in Java. If you try to divide 10 by 3, then you get the modulus result as 1. If you divide 10 by 2, you get the modulus result as 0, because 2 times 5 is 10 and there is no reminder. That's the modulus operation that you have to understand. I will not spend too much time in this because it is very, very self-explanatory, and I have also shown this to you in the video, in the recorded video. So I'll quickly go to the next slide. Stop me if you don't understand. Relational operator, okay? You're trying to understand the relation between 2 or more variables. I'll quickly write some program in this to make it understandable, all right? So for example, if I take you to this project and I have 2 numbers here, int A equals 20, int B equals 30. If you are saying sys out, you can say sys out, and if you say that A equals to B, A double equals B, what will be the result? Just give me 1 minute. Int A equals 20, B equals 30. If I say A equals to B, A double equals B, it means if I run this program, it gives me the value as false. Why? Because you're trying to figure out if the left-hand side is matching to the right-hand side. Obviously, in this case, it's not, and you're getting the value as false, right? Now, if you're saying if A not equals to B, that is with the exclamation mark, you get the value as okay. So if I say A not equals to B, then you run, you get the value as true because that's true. Okay, this is called relational operator. Understand, relational operator can get you the value in terms of Boolean value. It can give you back a true or a false, saying if the left-hand side is matching to the right-hand side or not. If I say int C equals 20, sorry, C equals 20, right? Equals C. That doesn't work. You cannot say A equals B equals C. It will never work. All right. Relational operator works between 2 entities. What if you want to say, what if I want to check A, if A is equals to B and B is equals to C? How will you do that? That's where we have to integrate this with a logical operator. Meaning, I can definitely say A is greater than A equals to B or not. So this whole operation can be one entity. And then I can attach this with a logical operator saying ampersand, ampersand. And then I can say a bracket again, and I can say B equals to C or not. Now it makes sense. So you are combining a relational operator with a logical operator. You know the result will be obviously false. Obviously. Okay. There are multiple different type of relational operators that we have to look at. Equals to, not equals to, greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to. Very self-explanatory if you understand what exactly we have to look for. Is this part clear? Yes, no. Is this part clear, guys?
Yes, Sovik.
Okay.
Yes, no.
All right, good stuff. Let's move on. Logical operator. I was talking about that a minute back. I can attach relational operators to basically figure out if multiple relations are working out together or not. If A is equals to B and A is equals to 10, I'm trying to attach them together to figure this out. Okay? And at the end of the day, logical operator is also going to give me back the result in terms of true or false. Okay? Okay. Okay. So that's the logical operator. Let's move on to the next one. We will do some logical operations with if-else conditions. All right. Let's move on to the pre and postfix operator. It's very, very easy to understand, but it's very interesting. So I'll take exactly the same example. I've shown this to you in the video also, but I'll take up the same example. I'll say int number a, num a equals 20, let's say 5. Okay. If I do a sys out on this num a, what am I expecting? I'm expecting to get the value as 5. That's cool. I'm expecting to get the value as 5. That is not a problem. But if I say sys out num a plus plus, what is the value I am expecting now? Just to let you know, plus plus means, just to let you know, plus plus means you are
Increment.
not pre-increment. Plus plus means you are incrementing the value by 1. It means you're incrementing the value of the variable by 1. It depends where do you keep the plus plus, in the front or in the back. Plus plus means you are incrementing the value of 1. So for example, if you say num a equals to num a plus 1, then that means you're adding 1 to the variable num a, and you get the value as 6, because the variable was having value called 5. 5 plus 1 is 6, so you get the value as 6. When you are adding number 1 to a variable, you can use a shortcut to say plus plus, right? So now, if I say here as num plus plus. I'm saying plus plus at the end of the variable. It means postfix operator. Question is, what will be the answer to this statement when line number 29 executes? What will be my answer? Can someone tell me that, please? What will be the answer?
6.
Okay, anyone else wants to try that? Avinash, what will be the answer? Line number 29, please.
It will be 5 plus 6, but the output of line 29 will be 5 unless you print it in the next.
Exactly. Very well said. So if I just run this program right now, I get the value as 5. Why it is happening? So it is a postfix operator, meaning what? Meaning line number 29 got executed first, but later at the memory level, num a got added by 1. So meaning if I again repeat my 28 line number over here, I get the value as 6 then, because after line number 5 was executed, as it is a postfix operator, because it is added at the back of the variable, so you got the value 6 now in the next line, not in the same line. However, if you do it the otherwise, if you say num plus plus num a, this is a prefix operator, and prefix will increment the value first and then print out, meaning the printout happens at the same level where it is getting incremented. So obviously, I will get the value over here as what? As what?
7.
Exactly. So I get the value as 7. Right? So that's how it works. Prefix and postfix. Because I'm doing the operation of printout at the same level where I'm incrementing it. You wouldn't really see the difference if I do it something like this. If I say num a plus plus. All right. And then I say sys out num a. What will happen? I will get the value as 8. It will print it over, I mean, it will be obviously incremented here as 8, and I get the value as 8. So run. You get the value as 8. In this case, what happened was I was trying to print and increment at the same line, which is why you didn't see the reaction immediately. I mean, whether you do it num plus plus or you do plus plus num, it'll get you the same value anyways, right? 8 anyways. Okay. So that is one of the operator that you must be understanding. Let's move on to the next part. Arithmetic operations. Sorry, assignment operations. So if I say A equals to plus equals to B, if I say A plus equals to B, it means you are adding A with B exactly like this. I have int A, int B. I can say A plus equals to B, which is exactly like A equals to A plus B. Do you understand that? They both are same. They both are same. What exactly is happening? A equals to A plus B. What does that mean? It means the value of B will be added to A and the final result will be added to A again, right? So here the value of B is 30, value of A is, well, of B is 30 and A is 20. So 30 plus 20 is 50. So the value of A will be 50 now after the operation. Simple. Again, look for these simple tasks. I think you should run through all of these slide deck, like just go over it, try to perform the operation in your Eclipse one by one, and you will get that. There is nothing complicated that I'm showing you in this section. Okay, let's go to the final one called ternary operator. Okay, ternary operator is basically a simple operator which will let you do some if-else activity. So I have given you a very simple example. I'm saying if A is equals to B, then the result will have the value as 10. If A is equals to B, if this condition is true, the value 10 will go to result. And if A is not equals to B, then the value 6 will go to the result. That's it. It's a one-liner. If I want to put this in an if-else statement, then I would do like this. I would say int result. Okay, you already have result here. You already have int result here. So I would say if A equals to B, then I want to say result equals to 10, else result equals to 6, right? If I want to do it in the if-else statement level, then I will do it in this format, or I can do it in one line with the ternary operator. Ternary operator only can help you to achieve this kind of operations, like, where you are trying to assign something to the information out of the computation, right? That's a ternary operator. All of these statements that I'm teaching you, they are absolutely important, but absolutely you need to practice them. You have to go through all of them. You have to run with the program, whatever I showed you in the video. You have to run with them, all of it, so that it kind of sits in your mind. Okay, no shortcut to this, guys. No shortcut. Sorry. So let's move on to the next part. All right. Finally, we are in the array. What is the array? Array is a way using which you can store multiple values inside one particular variable. Until right now, we were storing one value in one value in a variable, right? Now we want to store multiple values inside a variable. That is called as array. Array is a part of Java collection. You see, I'm saying array is a collection of same type of elements. Okay. For simplicity, we can consider that it's a bucket that holds same type of elements. All right. Array can store same type of elements. I'll give you some understanding here. Let's go and try to create a new package, or not package, but a new class. New class. I'll give this class name as test array, and we will do some exercise here with the main method. Guys, I'm telling you, being a part of this live session is very important, because I keep on showing you some new stuff that probably I have not covered every inch of it in the video. So, please be present in the live class always.
Sure.
Or watch the live class always. So let's talk about an array. I'm saying Array is nothing but storing multiple same type of variables. So int array, I said nums equals new int, and you give the size as 5. I'm saying I want to store 5 numbers inside one single entity. How do I do it? I do it with the help of array. Right? Now, if I just show you something. Array is a nothing but adjacent memory blocks in your memory, in your system memory. When I'm saying that I'm trying to store 5 different values, I'm creating this 5 different blocks, empty blocks, and these blocks are now ready to store 5 different values for me under one name called nums. I have predefined my size. If I try to do a debug, guys, I want to make sure that you understand this. You have to get along with debugging. If you are learning programming, there is no shortcut, there is no escape out of debugging. You have to learn debugging, whether you learn Java, JavaScript, Python, C#, doesn't matter. Debugging sounds complicated at the initial stage, but that's the only way you can master this art. There is no other option. So how do I do a debugging? Firstly, why do I even care? For example, at this stage, when I created an array of size 5, I really want to see what is happening inside this variable nums. I want to see that at runtime. Debugging will offer you that possibility. You can pause your execution at runtime and figure out what's happening with your data, what's happening with your variables, what's happening with your program. How do you do that? You put a breakpoint in the location where you want to stop your program. Obviously, it makes sense for me to stop the program in line number 9 because I want to first execute line number 7, and then I want to pause my execution line number 9 so that I can inspect line number 7, right? So I am adding a breakpoint line number 9. How do I do that? In Eclipse or in IntelliJ, both the place. In this blue section here at the very extreme end, you hit double click and you get a blue dot, which is your breakpoint. This guy is a breakpoint. You're trying to break out. You're not trying to break out of the execution. You're going to pause your execution line number 9, or whichever line has having the breakpoint. Now you want to start the program. How do you do that? You say right click and you say debug as, not run as, but debug as Java application. And if you do that, you are going to get this prompt saying in Eclipse, at least you will get this prompt saying confirm perspective switch. So basically it is letting you switch into a different layout when you are performing a debugging. And I don't think it is needed. You don't need to really switch into a different perspective. You can simply say, remember my decision, and say no, meaning you will still be looking at the same layout. Perspective is nothing but a layout in Eclipse. There are different perspectives, one for debugging, one for development, different types of development, right? So I'll say no. So you will be still in the same layout. You are at pause in line number 9. When you are at line number 9, you're paused at line number 9. If you are hovering your mouse in nums variable, you see something. You see that you have created, there is a box, square box, and there are 5 zeros. Did I create them? I didn't. But Java itself is doing it on its own. When you created a variable, when you created an array of size 5 for integer, it's an integer array, Java is automatically providing a default value of 0, 5 zeros into the array. Now you are responsible to set the value inside these array. How do you do that? You do that because you can do that with the help of something called as indexing. All right. Let me again try to see. I want to capture this guy. Let me see. Capture this guy, right? Never mind. That's all I've seen, right? So array with multiple zeros. So in array, you basically work with indexes. So here, there are 5 indexes. Index value starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 indexes in this array, which will let you store the information. The size of the array is 5, and the index number is starting with 0 to 4, right? 4 means you can say the last index value will be the size of the array minus 1, correct? You see the last index number is 4, which means 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay. So now, if I want to put the value inside this variables or this location, how do I do that? I can say, let me stop the debugging first. And then I can say nums, you can hit the index, say 0, you give the value as 20. You say nums 2, you give the value as 0, 1, 2, okay? You give the value as 30, and nums 4, you get the value as 40. 2, 20, 30, 40, right? Let's do a debugging one more time. Right? If you hover on nums now, 20, 30, and 40 is assigned to 3 different indexes. Another 2 is still 0. That's how array works. Array works with indexes. You have to also understand that array cannot increase its size in the runtime. Means when the program is executing already, you will not be able to increase its size. How can I prove that? Let us try to do a quick test. It's all, programming is nothing which is coming out of thin air, right? Everything is logical. You have to just know how to test your concepts. And then that concept will be there with you forever. For example, I'm saying array cannot grow runtime. cannot increase the size of the array at runtime. How do I prove that? We will be proving it in debug mode. So you just saw me hovering on the nums and understanding the values. You can also do one more thing. You can select this nums, right click on it, and say watch. Again, a debugging technique. You say watch. When you do that, you see there is a section called expressions. Inside that, this nums variable is added. Now, if I click on this, you get all the values. Okay, but that's not it. Just watching the values is not what I want. This watch system can let me manipulate the data at runtime. Meaning, I can say nums of 0 equals 35. Enter. Okay. Now, if you look at nums again, you see, I can add n number of program in these lines, and I can test my variables. So you can see I'm saying nums again. The value of index 0 is changed to 35 because I executed this line here. Okay. Let's try to execute this command nums. Let's try to say nums 5 equals 45. So I'm trying to add 45, number 45 for index number 5. Can I do that? Let's hit. Immediately it is throwing me an exception. Error during evaluation. If you expand this arrow, you see attempt to access illegal array index 5. It is idly throwing you an exception, meaning what? Meaning there are 5 indexes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, total 5 indexes. And you are trying to access index number 5, which doesn't even exist. The highest index is index number 4. You're trying to access index number 5. It is not even there. So obviously it is throwing you an error. Attempting to access illegal array index, right? Whatever I'm showing you here as a part of this debugging techniques, I am pretty sure I have shown you in the video as well. But I want you guys to give me a confirmation that you understand how to walk through the debugging technique. Because debugging is the only option we have as a developer.
So actually, while I'm choosing, there's a point what you double breakpoint. So on top of it, I'm going to run it as a run debugging.
Correct.
But I'm not trace out the issue. I'm not getting like you are highlighted that the type of thing I'm not getting.
You're working in Eclipse? Is it Eclipse you're working or you're using something else? Sri, are you using Eclipse or something else?
Eclipse only.
Okay, can you show me your screen? Can you show me your screen?
Actually, I'm doing in the system itself. I'm using mobile for the your class.
Okay, can you please, I have to discuss control of your system. Can you join from your system also? Otherwise, I will not be able to see what's going wrong. Can you join from your system also? Don't come into the audio when you join from system.
Okay,
Just-
okay.
Just
Actually, this laptop is not connecting Wi-Fi. That's the issue. No. connecting now in the laptop. That's why.
Okay. Once you're connected, you just let me know. I can show you. What about Antariksh? What do you think? Is it okay?
Yeah, I'm clear.
What about Avinash?
Yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay. Kumuda, are you doing that in the system?
Yeah, Souvik, but not completely. Like, I think the environment variable is giving some error for me. Not sure. Maybe the
Which
setup.
environment variable? Java.
Yeah, build path specifies execution environment SC10. It says Java SC10. So
Okay.
there are no GRE installed in the workspace that are strictly compatible with this environment.
So I told you to uninstall whatever Java JRE you have and install Java 11. And I showed you how to do that last week, right?
Yeah. I did that, but not sure. I'll just check that out.
Okay. Uninstall whatever version you have. Go to
Okay.
control
Yeah.
panel, uninstall
Mhm.
all the Java versions that you have and install
Okay.
JDK 11.
Okay.
Okay, JDK, not JRE, JDK 11, and you should be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sri, are you connecting?
No, actually, my laptop is issue as a Wi-Fi. That's a problem.
Okay. When you fix your problem, just show me. I'll help you. Not a problem at all. Okay.
Sure. After that, in the also I have to send the screenshot through the WhatsApp. No issue.
No, it's just sending the screenshot to WhatsApp. I will not be able to fix it. I need to take the control of your system. So just do me just fix your laptop issue with the Wi-Fi, and
Sure.
then you can call me out or let me know.
Sure. Can you add me in Slack? All members in the Slack or nothing?
Yes, Slack is there. You have to ask me the question in the Slack. The Slack channel you
Actually,
have.
yeah. Last class I'm not the. That's a problem.
So what's your email address?
Ravinder Suram. Ravinder.
Ravinder.
RAVA. Ravinder.
No,
RAVAND.
you're not there. You're not there. You're not there. 1 minute.
Yeah. I'm not given any access classes. I don't know.
No, you have the class access already.
Yeah.
Everybody has the class access. Can you log into the site, please?
I'll try it after later. After class, I'll try it.
When you log into the class,
Okay.
you will see this page.
Okay.
This page, right?
Okay.
In this page, you click on this link. Join our Slack channel here.
Okay.
When you click on this, that's where you will go to the location to get into the Slack. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, so array, I just showed you how to create the array. There are multiple ways to create an array, by the way. Let me show you. So you just saw me creating an array like this, but there are other ways to create an array as well.
And one thing, Sunit, I got an output as some hash code on top of it.
Yeah, you're doing something wrong. Absolutely.
No. Actually, what are the things as this thing I put as a system out at println something. So after that, I'm getting like a I at the rate 15 like that. I got DB. I got
I'm
that
I'm
type
not
of.
I'm not I'm not printing anything. It's a blank printout.
Okay.
I think you're trying to print out the variable here.
Yeah. Num. I'm print out.
No, there is no point in doing that. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
If you do it like this, you will get this, right?
Yeah. That one.
So obviously it's a hash code. You don't need that.
Okay.
I'm showing you this printout statement because I'm just trying to pause my execution in line number 30. That's it, right?
Yeah.
If I remove this system.println, if I just say int num, okay, equals 20, and this could be also my breakpoint. And if I run this, I will be able to stop here as well. Okay. And it's the same thing again. So all am I doing here is just to pause my execution so that I can inspect what is happening here. That's all. Now that is okay. All right. So then the next thing that I am trying to show you is multiple ways to create an array. One way is I showed you. The other way is int nums2 equals, in flower brace, you can give values, right? Whatever, you can give values. Okay. Now, this is one easy way because you are setting up the value at the same time you are setting up the size. This is another easy way of setting up your array. Okay. You can say, okay, question is, I showed you how to set the value, how to get the value. How to get the value is what I have to understand. So for example, sys out, if I want to get the value, I say nums2, and I can say 0. I can do it multiple times, 1, 2, 3. And if I just print them out, you see, I'm getting the value. So meaning I can get the value with the help of integer as well. I can get the value with the help of integers as well. I mean, indexes, not integers, indexes as well. While setting also unit indexes, while getting as well unit indexes. There is one more property of an array I want to show you. Sys out nums2 dot length. When you run this property will tell you what is the size of the array is. So that's how it is, right? Nums2 dot length. Okay, good. Now, if that is the case, then what do I do now? What do I do now here is, I just showed you how to work with array. We will cover more and more collections in future, but for now we'll go to loops. There are multiple types of loops, and then we have var args. Okay, let's cover this.
Just before that, sorry, I was trying to create an array with characters. I'm getting some errors. Can you show a small example other than int? Yeah.
Char c equals and so A, B, C. I'll just say char ch, okay, and then sys out ch 0 and print. You get the value. Here.
Right. Okay. I think I did. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Character will always work in single quotes, not in double quotes.
I just realized that I put double quotes and then
Yeah.
that's the reason why. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so we understood the array. Now we will try to understand the loops. Okay, there are 4 different types of loops that we have in Java. for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. Okay, and there is significance to all of them. We'll talk about it. So what is a for loop? For loop is, firstly, what is a loop? Loop is basically a mechanism using which you can wish to perform one operation multiple times. Okay, if I ask you to print out 1 to 100, if your task is to print out 1 to 100, one stupid way would be sys out 1, sys out 2, so on and so forth. And you can see, if you just follow that, you can definitely go and print out 1 to 100, no problem at all. But this is the most stupidest way, right? Idea is you just print out one statement, or you can use operation of printing a statement or performing an operation once, and then you can repeat that n number of times so that you can perform that same operation 100 times of printing the values. So I can say with a for loop, I have a clear-cut range. I want to print 1 to 100. So I can say for int is a variable, int I equals to 1. I is a variable, integer variable. I equals to 0, sorry. And here I say I less than 100, I plus plus. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to print 1 to 100. All right. And within this scope of the for loop, you see, I give a clear-cut range that is 0 to 99. And in this range, I want to print out all my values. Sys out I. Okay, let's run this. Obviously, it is starting with 0 because I gave the value as 0 instead of 1. I can give the value as 1 to less than equals to 100. And if I run this, I get the value from 100, 1 to 100. So basically, it is clear that you have to provide a range for a for loop to work. And then whatever you have within the scope of the flower brace, you are able to perform that operation over and over again. Okay, that's a for loop. Next, we have another type of loop. It's called a while loop. What is a while loop? While loop works in a situation where you want to perform an action as long as a condition is true. For example, I have a variable named as status. It's a Boolean variable. Boolean variable named as status equals to false or true. So I'm saying as long as the variable status value remains true, I want to keep on looping around. So you see that there's a difference between a while loop and a for loop. For loop works in a range. While loop works on a condition, meaning I can say while status equals to true, I want to keep on performing an action. Okay, so meaning I can say as long as it is true, I want to print out 1 to 100. So let's say I'll just simply comment out this for loop. I'll say int count equals 1. Okay, int count equals 1. Sys out count It will keep on counting. This count is going to be incremented, right? The count needs to be incremented. So I can say count plus plus, so that I can keep on counting, right? If I go and run this program right now, you see what's happening? I'm just stuck in an infinite loop where I'm just printing. So that, why is that? Because this integer is getting incremented. I'm not really providing any option to break out of that loop. Okay, I can stop this program and I can design my program in a way that I can come out of the loop when I hit 100. So if I say if count is equals to 100, I'm adding a simple if statement, then I say status equals false. See that? When I'm hitting 100, I want to change the status value equals false. And if I do that, if I run this now, I get till 100. Why is that? Because as soon as I hit 100, I'm saying, let's not bother about the status anymore. Let's just make it false. And the loop will not run anymore. That's the while loop. Okay. Do while loop is a different situation. Do while loop says it is exactly like a while loop. There is no question about that. Okay. So do while loop. Again, in do while loop, I'm taking the same example. Status equals true. By the way, I want to show you something, a trick. If you're working with a Boolean variable, you don't need to explicitly mention that status equals to true. If you just say status, it means that you are saying that you are checking the status against the value equals true. Just status. If you're trying to say, I want to check the value against false, then you say exclamation status. It happens only with the Boolean variable. If it is just like this, without the not, then it is, you mean, or you're trying to imply that it is equals to true. Just a shortcut, right? So just like that. What is do while loop? Do while loop just says that even if your while condition is not matched, or even if the while condition is not true, you still want to make sure that your execution runs at least once. Let's see, this whole stuff that I have inside this while, I copy and paste it here. I hope you understand that when this while loop breaks out, the variable value of status will be false. Meaning, this while loop should not ever start. But you will see that it got start. Why? Because it is a do while loop. Even if this section is a false, even then, this part will be executed at least once. Right? Let's run this. $100 came till here, right? Obviously, when 100 printed in line number 37, in line number 38, I made the counter as increment. I incremented the counter, which made it 101, right? Then this while loop started. If counter is 100, then set the status to false. this line will not even matter because counter is not 100, it is 101 now. After line number 38, the counter value is line 101 now. So this will not be the case, but anyways, the value of status is false. So it printed out line number 43 as 101, incremented the counter to 102, and finished the loop because the while status is false. So it finished the loop. Is this making sense, everyone? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Ronan, is that clear to you as well?
Yeah, it is. It.
Okay, perfect. Good stuff. So we have covered while loop, for loop, and a normal while loop and do while loop, right? Lastly, I want to cover one more loop, and that's called for each loop. I gave you a small example there when we covered not this, sorry, over here in this program. This is for each loop. We'll cover this right now. For each loop is also a unique loop that works very well with Java collections, It could be an array, or it could be an array list, hash map, all the stuff, which we will cover later on, but it works with collections mainly. What is a for each loop? So for each loop, this loop will never need any kind of range, any kind of incrementation, any kind of index, nothing. For each loop is designed in such a way that you can very easily configure it to print out or to access its value. For example, here we are dealing with a character array, char, ch. Let me just give some more characters. So just say D and E, right? I added some characters here, and I want to print out these values. So here, as a part of for each loop, all you have to understand is what is the type of that collection. Is it a character collection or an int collection or a string collection? In this case, it is a character collection. So fine, you can just say that my character collection is going to have characters. So char is the character type. You give the value of that variable as c colon ch. Let me explain this to you. Okay. This line that I wrote here, it has a significance. So number one is the type. Number one is the type. Type of that collection. I know the collection is of type character. So I'm saying that type is character, fine. Then I'm giving a character variable, and then finally I'm giving the actual collection. So character or the collection, the whole collection. Why it is designed like this? Because it will make your life very easy. Meaning, sorry. Okay, it is going to make your life easy. Why? Because all I will do here is sys out and just say C. What is exactly happening? This character collection is having all the values A, B, C, D, and E. They're all the values. The loop is so smart that it is automatically iterating or looping around, right? When it is looping around, it is picking up each value at a time and pushing it to this variable one by one. When the loop starts, it starts with A, pushed it to the variable C, and you print C, which will be this index. Similarly, one by one, it will pick up the value, push it into the variable C, and then you print out that value, or you access that value within the loop. To prove that, let me run the program. You see A, B, C, D, E, all printed. One by one, picked it up and pushed it to the variable, and then you accessing it, and you're printing the value. That's all. That's how a for each loop works. Do you have any question with for each loop? Okay. Perfect. So I think that's where I finish my class today. There is one more small section I wanted to cover, but I think we can easily do that next week. It is basically the var args part, and I will cover that up next week. Next week, I will be enabling you for the next week. I will be enabling you with some more stuff, which is very important: Java class, memory allocation, configuring Selenium WebDriver, understanding dev tools, all the stuff is a part of week number 2. I will enable week number 2 so that you can start watching. So from tomorrow, from today evening, you should be able to access them. Okay, so I'll get it ready. Today in the evening, when you log in back, you should be able to see week number 2. This was our first summary class. What do you think is that you want me to change, or how do you like it? Antarishk or Ronan, yeah, please go on.
I think it's okay the way it's going so far.
Is there anything that you want me to change, the way I'm explaining things, or the pace I'm explaining? Is it something that you're able to follow properly?
So far I'm able to follow up. I suppose we can see how weeks go on, and I suppose probably more basic stuff so far than next few weeks.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Antarish, what do you think?
It's okay the way it is going.
Okay. Kumuda, what do you think?
Yeah, it's good, Savik. It's like refreshing the C++ and Java. I mean, it's similar, right? The class, for loop and all those. So it's
okay. Yeah. So at the initial stage, things will be a little bit common because most of the guys are coming from this programming background. At least you have tried programming earlier once. So some of the things will be common, but that is needed because I have to lay out the foundation first and then go to the advanced topics.
Yes, that's needed.
Okay. And Sri, what do you think?
Basic level, no issue. Later, it's good enough for the basic purpose prospect.
Okay.
And one thing, and in that, what are the providing the course list? There's any API tool you're using as a like a thing? API tool also?
I told you when I had a word with you, Sri, we are teaching rest assured.
Rest assured. Is there any like a Postman tool?
Yes, Postman, obviously, that is for manual API testing, and then rest assured for automation.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So looks like you guys are okay with whatever is covered in the week 1. Let's come back next week and continue from here on. So yeah, perfect. I will be expecting you to upload the assignments as soon as possible. Right now, I can see, I think some of them were added. Let's just see. July, August. Okay, yeah, some assignments came up here. I will add in the solutions to the assignments in this location, so you can watch them and try to see the difference between whatever you have done and the way I'm doing it. And then I will also post the assignments for next week as well. But for now, it is very important for you to complete the assignments, guys. So every one of Kumuda assignments, please. I don't see anything coming up here. Kumuda?
Yes, Samik, I haven't worked on it. I'll do it this week. Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's it for today then. I will upload the classes and please ask me questions in the Slack channel. I don't know why, but this channel is very quiet. You can see July 2021, it's so active. We are constantly discussing questions. They are having roadblocks, we are solving them. If you're really serious about this, you have to show that you are serious. Ask me questions. Don't ask me questions, on Friday or Saturday. Ask me questions in the middle of the week, because that's where it shows that you are putting the time. Every batch of mine, you can go to November, you can go to May, you can go to April. Every batch, we discuss technical stuff here. You see, they put in command, they put in questions, they put in errors, and we solve it. That's why this tool is needed. That's why, I have this channel. So use it properly if you are really serious about getting into test automation space. I have a guy hired in India who is there to support you with any roadblocks that you have. There is a calendar link for myself and for himself. You have to book a call with me if you are stuck at some point. I mean, firstly, put your question in the Slack. If your problems are not solved in the Slack, then we can take a live call and solve your problem. But don't go ghost on it, because if you do that, then I cannot really help. So please try to come back sooner to me. All right. You see how these guys are continuously asking questions. Let me show you something. Sakshi, right? Not only Sakshi, Andre, Helen, every one of them, they are Tishani, every one of them, they are constantly asking questions because they are fully committed to it. So please be in that level, ask me questions. Don't be quiet. Don't go quiet. You can see Sakshi, she has booked multiple calls with my Indian counterpart. His name is Gagan, and he will sit with you one-to-one and solve your problems. Right? Use these features. You will not get these features anywhere else. You will not get a support mechanism like this where you can easily get the result. You can easily solve your problem. Other companies I know, they just let you solve your problem on your own, or they will tell you that go and solve it with Google. Just Google it. But that is not what I want you to do. I want you to waste your time in Googling around. I want you to ask me questions. Okay, so please use the tools that I'm giving you the right way it is designed. so that I can help you. I can help you get a job in this market. There are so many people who are getting a job. There is no point that you will not get a job. So you have to put in that effort, right? Please come back to me by middle of the week. Today is Sunday. I'm going to release the videos by evening. You have at least by Thursday. Please come back to me if you're having problems. All right.
Sure.
That's it for today, guys. Thank you. Talk to you next weekend, same time. All right. Not same time, my bad. I will schedule the call from 1 hour before. Okay. I'll prepone it by 1 hour. So 9 a.m. I will start the class. All right. From next week onwards.
Okay. See you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Take care.